Hi there. In this video, we're going to spend just a few minutes and show you how to actually upload projects to your project online environment. And with this particular method, because there's a few methods to actually get projects up into Project Online, but with this method, I'm going to utilize the Project Professional client. First thing we're going to want to make sure is that we have the client installed. I'm going to navigate to my Office 365 settings. And to do that, within settings, I'm going to navigate to software. And within software, first it's going to bring me to the Office 365 apps you can see here. But if I look along the left navigation, you can see one of the options is project. If we click on project, that will refresh the screen. And there you go. There's project. I can click install. So it'll be the click to run, be a very quick install. Once it's complete, it will be one of the apps that's available for me to actually execute and start running and using within the tool. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to close out all these tabs here. And what I'm going to do is launch this once again. Launch back in here, and we're going to sign in now as Katie. Okay, so we're logged in as Katie. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab or harvest the Project Web App URL in this particular case. And when you log into your portal, we will have set up your Project Online tenant for you already. So this will already be here. You'll have a tile here with project on it. I'm going to click on that tile. Once the system refreshes, it should log me in automatically and bring me right to the home page of Project Web App. We're just going to go ahead and wait for that. And once it does, we'll be able to go ahead and harvest that URL, and we're going to need that when we go ahead and create that connection within the Project Professional client. And it looks like we're just about here. And there we go. There's Project Web App. There's the home page. And there's the URL that we're waiting for, HTTPS, and that's going to be the sub URL that will be provided to you, sharepoint.com, something that we're given, /sites, and then slash, and then the URL. So I'm going to want to grab everything through the site/PWA. I selected it. I'm going to do Control C. Now I'm going to launch project. I'm going to use my Windows key type PROJ. There's project. I have no existing connection, as you can see here. What computer represents is that I'm going to be working with local MPP files. Therefore, what I need to do is this. Click open. Then I'm going to click info. All right, so I opened the tool. I click to info. One of the options is Project Web App accounts. It says I'm not connected to a Project Web App. I want to create a connection. Computer. Remember, we talked about this. This is working with local MPP files in a standalone environment. What I want to do is I want to add an environment. This is where I paste in that URL I just harvested. And I'm going to call this my new Project Online. You can call this whatever you want, actually. This account name in the top is descriptive. Therefore, type in something that's meaningful to you, right? I can set it as the default account, like so. And then here's an option right here. If I select this radio button, use my default account, every time I launch a project, it's going to automatically launch and connect to that Project Web App instance. If I'd like the option to either work locally with MPP files or work in Project Online, I would select the latter radio button. I'm going to do that. Click OK. I do have to exit out of project and then launch it again. Let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. So it's stopping because, like I said, I selected that radio button. I can either work local. I can work with that new Project Online instance. Click OK. It is connecting to my Project Online environment. And there we go. So at this point in time, a couple of ways I can get projects to my Project Online environment, right? One is to start with a blank project. Like so. Clicked on a blank project. I can type task 1, task 2. And obviously, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about how to create projects. You know, obviously, that's a topic for another video. But we're going to just create a really simple one, task 2. There are going to be a little bit of differences between working in the standalone and enterprise environment. And that is, things are going to be a little bit different. I'm not just going to save the project in Project Online. I'm actually going to do this here. Publish project progress, and if you read this description, it states that this project has not yet been published to Project Web App. Team members cannot see their assignments or the overall plan until the project is published. And not just team members, but everybody. Everybody else who's you want to see this project cannot currently see it. Executives, other project managers, resource managers, anybody who you want to collaborate. And that's really what Project Online opens the door to. I'm going to click Publish. Dan's test project 101. Click Save. And if you look in the bottom right, you can see the status. And this right here is basically prompting me to determine whether or not I want to have a project site created for the project. I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, go ahead and do that. There's my published progress. Published 0% complete. Sometimes it'll stay at 0 and it'll automatically just go right to 100. Yeah, really no rhyme or reason to it. But I don't have to sit here and wait for this. Actually, I can close out of the project if I want to. For the purposes of this demo right here, though, I'm just going to wait and confirm. And there it is, published, completed successfully. Now, if I go back to Project Online, my Project Web App environment, if I were to click on Projects, because this is where I can look at all the projects in the system. And let's switch to a simple view, right? Let's switch to a summary view. It's merely a view that's going to be sorted by project names. And there you go, Dan Test 101, right? Just created this guy. 4.3 to 4.4. Let's click on the name of the project here. And there's some of the metadata. If I click on the schedule, if you recall, I created task 1 and task 2. Task 1, task 2. There you go. And that's really it. That's as easy as it is to create a project in the system. Now, if you want to, very briefly, when I'm done with this project, file, close, I will get a prompt. You have the project currently checked out. That's because when you work in Project Web App now, when you do open these projects, you do have to check them out to be able to edit them. When you're through, typically you would check them back in like so. But now when you're going to work on these projects, when you connect to Project Web App, what you will do is you will open Project Pro like I just am now. I'm connected to Project Web App. I'll select Open. Then from New Project Online, and I'll click Browse. And then the project will show up here in this list, and I'll be done. Thank you.